So,
well, do you think that politicians know more about this kind of matter than maybe people, Nigerians, think they do, and as such, they can volunteer information to security agencies to sort this out?
well, you know, that again is in the realm of speculations. You see, I wouldn't say that one party or the other, or some set of politicians, you know more or know less. But maybe the only instance where some people have come out to say, people like Shehu Soni and all these people, that they have some contacts with, or you can use some people to reach, you know. But politicians are relevant, more relevant than most people. In the fact, of course, that it is their trade to relate with the people almost on a daily basis. They probably are more probably we know, I mean, somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. But more importantly, is the role that I expect is that kind of a negative utility, that they shouldn't, politicians can create a situation of amity, you know, non-partisanship. You know, but there's this cliche that if there's no crack in the wall, you know. So the role politicians, the most important role they can play is to confront a situation like this, you know, not with divisiveness and polarization, but, you know, as statesmen, you know, as, you know, as saying that politics stops at the boundary so this is what I think that, for instance, it doesn't augur well. I heard that somebody, Rufai was saying that pointing fingers at the president, that is an irresponsible thing to do. Those are the things that deepen and perpetuate, you know, the atmosphere of crisis that we have. This kind of wild and scurrilous allegations. You know, when you come up with that, what are you setting up, you know?
But don't you think that if we kind of have, if you can hasten our investigative process and bringing people to justice, perhaps all those comments may not even come as quick as they're coming?
Well, you know, how do you relate somebody accusing the president with what you have just said? They are two different things. If you are saying the security system can do better, fine. But that does not amount to you now making the allegation that somebody was responsible for it.
For instance, if investigations go faster in this country, they get to court and the cases are dispensed faster, do you think anyone will actually have maybe point accusing fingers when evidence is there to prove otherwise?
You know, look, evidence is to prove otherwise. That shouldn't, even if there is no evidence to prove otherwise, that does not justify you. You know, an accused is deemed innocent until, you know, convicted or proven by the law.
No, that is enough. Politicians across board in this country make all kinds of statements.
Chamberlain, don't justify the unjustified.
I'm not justifying that. I'm saying what's obvious.
How would you feel if I said, if there is a robbery in your neighborhood and I said it's Chamberlain who is responsible for it? Will you blame that on the tardiness or inadequacy or shortcomings of the security?
Will people even believe that if they said it, having known what kind of person he is?
Oh, so you believe it, you know that Jonathan, you believe it because Jonathan, is that what you are saying?
No, I'm only asking a question. Will people believe it?
See,
having
it's not a question of believe or not. You see, there is a dictum that it's better to allow 1,000 criminals to go free than for one innocent man to suffer. But what you have to be fair and objective in the way you look at things. Security sloppiness does not justify, you know, wild and, you know, demonizing allegations.
One of the things you've noticed, though, is the tendency for when accusations like that come, you know, the other party is also quick to also point, aside just saying, you know, no, we're not responsible, that is an irresponsible statement, and leaving it at that, you also find that there's always, you know, tendency to also point back, accusing fingers that no, instead of you say, you said this, we think instead that you could have had a hand in it. And then, you know, it now becomes a matter for politics. Is it possible for politicians to totally stay away from this type of politicization?
But that is precisely what I'm saying, that is the role, that the best role that the politicians can play is not to politicize the issue of security. Security, because security, I mean, the degenerate security situation does not discriminate whether you are PDP or APC. And oftentimes, you know, the people at the lower echelon of society that suffer the consequences. So, of course, what the politicians, that is what I'm saying. I mean, the more you make this kind of appeal, the better. That people should not thrive or exploit, you know, these kind of situations to score cheap political points.
Was that the point you're trying to make in your article?
You read my article?
Oh, yes, I read your article that's going to be on back page this day, and it was pointing the fingers back at the APC.
Exactly,
that,
yes.
you know,
yes.
Is that also, would you say that is not politicizing the issue?
I'm not politicizing. I said, look, people who are quick to point fingers should also, you know, examine them, look critically at themselves. And that, you know, if you point one finger at somebody, the rest is pointing back at you. You know, and you see, when you start a process, when you do something that is patently wrong, you know, you also have to know that they have consequences, and that what goes round, you know, comes round. You see, it's what we are citing. Time will not allow us to discuss it here. I mean, it's a comprehensive rule. But the point that was being made there was that, look, if that is your intention to demonize somebody else, then you had better look critically at yourself, because what you are throwing at the other person may come back right at you. But my column is not the subject of this.
We have to thank you for coming on this morning, Mr. Akin Osuntokun. We've been talking about security and how to sort the whole thing out. Thank you again for coming on this morning.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll be back after this. We've got another perspective today on the program. Join us again.